Thousands of actors have been off the picket line for almost a month now, but some say that they still have concerns when it comes to AI.
Yeah, this comes after SAG-AFTRA reached a tentative agreement with major Hollywood studios, ending that nearly 4-month-long demonstration and strike. And joining us now in studio is actor, stuntman, and SAG-AFTRA member Peter Jang to break down the issues, tell us what's happening from the actor's perspective. So, of course, thank you for being here with us. We talked to you, I think, during the strike.
Yes,
and
right
here we
when
are.
it started.
Right, and here we are on the other side. Just tell us your general feeling and maybe some of your fellow actors, how they feel about this agreement.
Sure. I mean, when it comes to the full agreement, there were some gains, not going to lie, some payment increases, all different things. The real problem that I have and a lot of other people have, I mean, there are some, obviously the full resources of SAG are getting out with robocalls and postcards saying vote yes. So that doesn't need any amplification. I'm really trying to educate people on what the dissent is saying, just so that they can make their own decisions. I mean, this has been a long strike. There's been a lot of sacrifices that have been made, right? And some people have even killed themselves during this thing. I mean, it's very grave, like what happened. So I'm not taking this lightly. I mean, I have a lot of friends that have families that they need to feed. But on the other hand, is that this is existential. This is an existential threat to the profession in general.
So you're not happy with what has been agreed upon?
The AI provision specifically, but personally, I mean, like I said, I have some other things that are in there, but the blaring things that is, we are rearranging furniture on the Titanic if we don't take care of these blaring things that are like in the AI provisions. It's like Swiss cheese in a lot of ways. I mean, we have. The biggest one that's easy for everybody to understand is biometric data, right? It's like the thing that you thumbprint on your phone, all that kind of thing. It's a kind of a new gray area, but it's going to be taking a big place in our future. So, you know how many times it said biometric data in the entire memorandum of agreement? 0. Not once is it even mentioned. So they come at us and say this is the best that we can do, but it's not even the basic minimum. I mean, my cell phone plan has, says that if you authorize the one use of your biometric data, you can delete it right after use. Well, they're saying that you can only use it for one project, and they have to get consent. But if it's our data, then why can't we ask for it to be deleted after that project? I also understand that it'd be a long process. I mean, if there's a no vote that happens, there's already a strike authorization, so the negotiating committee will choose whether or not they continue the strike or we continue with the 2020 agreement until there's a new tentative deal. When we'll have to see what happens with that.
What are you hearing from fellow actors and everybody else? Are they concerned about the same provisions?
Everybody that I know is, especially because I work very prominently in stunts. Stunts specifically is on the cutting block here, and there's not a whole lot of protections for us. I mean, we're talking about likeness, but when you talk about stunt people, I would say 80% of my career in stunts has been less than 2 seconds. And if you can fill in the gaps with AI and all these different things, then all of a sudden the likeness isn't really a factor anymore. So it can be really daunting just thinking about where this is going. I mean, 1 year ago, AI wasn't even on the map.
Right.
So now, a year later, we have had this historic strike, and then they're going to say, well, you know what, we have these basic provisions, and then we're going to renegotiate in 3 years.
Has anything
what happens in 3 years?
Gotten better, from before the strike to now, from your perspective as a stuntman, that they can't do certain things, or is it still as bad as you feared?
Well, I mean, like I said, there were some gains in different things, and I'm not saying anything bad about the negotiating committee. I know that they worked very hard on this, but us as members, our job now is to look at the contract and say, is this work for us? And for a lot of people, it's no. I'm not going to say how I vote. I'm not going to say what I think that people should do. I'm not going to tell anybody how to vote, because I think that education is paramount here. And everybody had a different experience with this strike, so they need to figure it out for themselves and for their family and for their future career. But what I will say is that there's a lot of education right here. There's a lot of lawyers looking at this. There's a lot of AI experts that are looking at this, and a lot of them are not happy with some of the things.
Is there a feeling like they could vote no, or is that just kind of?
I mean, there are going to be some people that vote no.
They have until next week, so.
Yeah, they have until next week. People are going to vote no. There's informational meetings tonight. There's actually, I'm going to be on 2 of them today. A lot of people have a lot of resources that they can do. Again, why I'm amplifying the dissent on my social medias and everything like that is because I feel that the yes vote doesn't need any help. Like, what needs to be out there so people can make an educated decision is what do the people that say no, what do they want, and what do they want the contract to say instead?
Ultimately, it's big picture stuff here, not just from the media. Because
Right.
You're right, the technology is changing so fast. AI not even really on the map,
And it
not that
affects
long
you
ago.
personally. I mean, that's just it's a tough thing. So if it
I mean-
doesn't go through next week, then what happens?
Well, if it doesn't go through next week, from my understanding, and I've talked to some negotiating committee members about this, is that the strike authorization still stands because the strike is suspended. It's not over. So it will go back to the negotiating committee. They will choose what to do moving forward. They could choose to go against, say there's a no vote, and people say, like since the strike authorization is over there, they could go against the membership and not do it, or they could just say, you know what, we'll work on the 2020 agreement until a new tentative agreement is reached. That's always a possibility. But at the same time, it's like I don't know why they would try to do something like that
Where's the
when
leverage?
obviously, if the no vote goes through, that it's obvious that a large amount of the membership is not happy with what's going on here. So,
All right, good insight, Peter Jang.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Appreciate it. Good luck, whichever direction it goes. Hope to see you back to work
thank you.
soon.
Hey, can I say real quick?
Sure.
One thing I will say is that I think that everybody at home needs to think about that this is not just us. This is identity protections, right? And that affects everybody, not just actors. We're just the first people in the professional world to say it. So I would say get on the human side of humanity, the human side of history. Everybody should get on the human side of history because right now we're at an inflection point with this technology, and we really need to decide: are we going to keep going down this road where we want technology to take over everything, or are we going to be on the human side of things where technology will enhance our lives instead of replace us?
That's good perspective
way.
because we don't know what we
Looking
don't
at it.
know, right? It's
We
all
don't know what we
changing.
don't know.
All right,
Thank you.
Peter, thank you so
All right,
much.
Peter,
Appreciate
I
it.
really
you.
appreciate you guys.
You got it.